Imagine this. You wake up in the middle of the night and there's this heavy pressure on your chest. You can't breathe, you can't move, and in the corner of your room, you swear you see someone standing there. Not just anyone, but a woman, her face hidden under messy hair, her hands twisted like claws. That feeling of being watched, that's not just in your head, because what I'm about to tell you isn't a ghost story. It's the true account of a witch haunting that has terrified generations. And now, before you roll your eyes and think, oh great, another creepy pasta, stick with me, because this story doesn't come from Reddit or some late-night campfire tale. It comes from real testimonies, old documents, and people who swore they lived through it. And the craziest part? Some say this witch never left. Let's rewind. We're talking about a small town in Tennessee, back in the early 1800s. This wasn't New York or some bustling city. This was farmland, families trying to survive, and neighbors watching each other's backs. The Bell family was one of those neighbors. Hardworking, religious, respected. They had land, they had kids, and they thought they had peace. But then something changed. At first it was little things. Knocking sounds on the walls, scratching under the floorboards. The family thought maybe rats or maybe just the wind. But then the knocking became voices, whispers, clear as day, the sound of someone calling their names in the dead of night. And the more they ignored it, the stronger it got. And here's where it gets seriously messed up. One of the daughters, Betsy, started waking up with bruises. She'd screamed that something invisible was pulling her hair, slapping her, laughing in her ear. Her brothers saw it happen, her parents saw it happen, and nobody could explain it. Now, in that time, people didn't jump straight to a ghost or a poltergeist. They had another explanation: witchcraft. And one name kept coming up: Kate Batts. Kate was a neighbor of the Bells, and according to local gossip, she wasn't exactly easy to get along with. People said she was strange, bitter, maybe even cursed. Some claimed she had an argument with John Bell over land. Others said she muttered strange words under her breath. Whatever the truth, when the Bell family was tormented night after night, they believed it was Kate, that somehow she had put a curse on them. And from that point forward, what they called a Kate's Witcher or the Bell Witch became the stuff of nightmares. This wasn't like any haunting you've ever heard. It wasn't just shadows or things moving on their own. This talked, loud, clear, mocking. People who came to the Bell house swore they heard a female voice taunting them, laughing, even singing hymns or quoting scripture just to prove it could. Imagine sitting at the dinner table and hearing an invisible voice right next to your ear, cursing you out. Imagine being slapped so hard by something you couldn't see that it left a handprint on your skin. That's what they were living with every single day. And the story spread. Neighbors started coming to witness it. Even soldiers, even ministers. It got so big that, according to legend, General Andrew Jackson, the guy who later became president, heard about it and rode out with his men to see it for himself. The story goes that on the way there, his horses froze, wouldn't move another step, and a voice came out of nowhere, laughing, telling him she'd see him soon. Jackson, tough as he was, supposedly said, "I'd rather face the entire British army than the Bell Witch." But the witch wasn't just out for fun. She had a mission. She told the Bells directly that she hated John Bell. She wanted him dead, and she wasn't subtle about it. Every day she'd torment him, weaken him, until finally in 1820, John Bell was found dead. Next to him, a strange vial of black liquid. Family members swore they heard the witch's voice say, "I gave him that medicine." He's mine now. Now, whether you believe in witches or not, here's the thing. This case was recorded. People wrote about it. Dozens of witnesses backed it up. It wasn't just a ghost story whispered around a campfire. It was news, and it terrified everyone who heard it. But here's where it gets even creepier. The witch wasn't done. She said she'd leave for a while, but that she'd be back. And according to local law, she did come back, again and again. Some families in the area still claim they hear her voice in the woods, still feel her watching. Hoku. The Bell Witch Cave, near the family's old property, has become infamous. Visitors say they hear whispers, see shadows, even feel something tugging at their clothes. So what do we do with a story like this? Some people say it was mass hysteria, just neighbors feeding off each other's fears. Others say it was all made up. But then, what about the bruises? The voices multiple people heard at once? The historical records describing John Bell's death? Here's the part that gets under your skin. Even if you don't believe in witches, even if you think this is just a scary legend, why does the story refuse to die? Why do people still swear they've experienced it? Why is it that when you visit that cave, locals tell you, don't take a rock from here? Don't disrespect her, or she'll follow you home. And maybe that's why this story hits different, because it's not about a random ghost in a faraway castle. It's about a family, a town, real people who swore this thing destroyed them. And if it could happen to them, what's stopping it from happening again? Think about that next time you wake up in the middle of the night and swear you see someone in the corner of your room. Maybe it's just your imagination, or maybe it's her. And hey, if you made it this far, I know you like a good scare. So here's the deal. Hit that like button right now, because I've got even darker, stranger stories coming your way, ones that make the bell witch look like a warm-up. And if you're brave enough, subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss what's next. But be warned, once you know these stories, you can't unknow them, and sometimes knowing is what makes them find you. So tell me in the comments, do you think the bell witch was real, or just the greatest scary story ever told? Either way, don't watch this alone tonight, because you never really know who or what might be listening.